right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 33. We got a fully loaded, packed show for you tonight. But first off, as always, Tony, welcome to the show. I see you got your shirt.
Yeah, I just literally 2 days ago got my Christmas shirt. Let me stand up so everybody can enjoy that.
Oh,
The controversial knockoff T-shirt.
that's
So,
fantastic.
It's a little late from my intentions to wear it like Christmas Eve, but now I guess I have one for next year, and I thought I'd share with all of you because I was a little disappointed I didn't get to wear it for the holidays. So here we are.
What you got there?
I have got a nice bottle of Jameson Black Barrel.
Nice. I am got me a little bit of monkey shoulder. I had never tried this before. I actually just went into the liquor store and I saw they had the cool little 3 monkeys on the bottle, like engraved on there, and sounded pretty good. So I figure I'll give it a shot. It's
funny you bring that up, Chicken. You know, Phil and I actually did a review of that on the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah. Did you really? I thought I watched your liquor review once. I didn't see that one.
Really? Oh yeah, we absolutely did. And it's funny, I'd actually had it about a month before we taste tested it, but yeah, I really like that one. It's kind of an awkward name, but I loved it. And like I was just telling you, it goes good neat, but even one ice cube or a couple little spicks of water, and it really opens it up nicely. So can't recommend it enough. I really like it.
Yeah. So my awful cold that I had a few weeks ago, it was gone, and now I have this like horrible, like, I don't know if I end up with like tonsillitis or something, but like my tonsils are swollen like crazy, and it's been rough. It's hard to swallow right now, but man, this helps me swallow. Wait.
When it burns so good.
Oh, I was waiting for that's what she said or something like that.
No, that's so 2019, and it's 2020. Happy New Year!
Yeah, this is our first official episode since the new year, isn't it? Good segue.
Yeah, we've grown a lot. We've come a long way. I think you're probably going to see a much more streamlined, mature Dog and Chicken show from here on out. I feel like that's where we're at now.
A more refined adult flavor, if you will, of brutality with gentle kindness and the same old lewdness, I guess. Won't be that big of a change, I guess.
Yeah, so I've been listening to some of our previous installments, and I actually, for the first time, got all the way through part 2 of our video game review. And
oh, was that rough?
Wow. Oh my God. It was bad. Like I enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, I probably enjoyed it more than most people did, just because
you were pretty hammered.
About an hour and 15 minutes into that thing, I am destroyed. Like, I was already buzzed at the end of the first hour, but then about an hour and 15 minutes into the second 2 hours, I am fucking loaded. I can't speak. Like, everything I'm saying, I'm rambling even more than normal, if that's possible. I use the words literally about every other 3 words. It's bad. Yeah. All my normal tics just like turned up to 11, and I can't fucking figure out what I'm trying to say. Then I just start blathering about something else. It's great. You have got to check it out, people. It's a great one.
It was fun. I do remember me and Phil had to kind of walk you off the ledge there a couple times, especially after the Cowboy Kid incident.
Well, yeah, you guys were just flat out dicks. So I mean, I had to go off quite a bit. No, that was the best part. Like, I hammed it up a lot there. Like, I'm shit-faced and trying to oversell it a lot, and it comes off as
a little
sad,
too
mostly.
Much. Yeah, sad. That's probably a good word for it. I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to. No.
Oh, it was great. I'm just like, well, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, you guys are dicks.
Yeah.
Still dicks.
So did that lead to any resolutions for this year?
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to be playing a lot more Myst this year. Some more Cowboy Kid. Definitely no Minecraft or Red Dead Redemption. Fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys. Yeah. No, seriously. Any
so what about New
resolutions
Year's?
this year? Do you partake in the resolution beliefs and try to fail at everything?
It's pretty much the same ones every year. Like oh God, like this last 3 months, I haven't been able to do much, exercise and working out. And it's really kicking my ass now, trying to get back in the fold. And didn't do any sugar in November, and I'm trying to do that again this month, but it's been really fucking hard. Trying to slow down on energy drinks, trying to give up stogies, but really just slow down on them would be nice. So really, I'm trying to just slow down on stuff instead of saying I'm going to quit, because let's face it, I know how this ends.
I know how this ends. It ends with a stogie in one hand and a candy bar in the other.
Pretty much. God, oh man, that'd be a hell of a combination. Like a Toblerone and a Cuban.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
That
Meanwhile, I'm butt chugging a Red Bull.
Damn.
No, I don't recommend that. Nobody should do that under any circumstances.
Yeah, that'd put me in a diabetic coma for sure.
Just do cocaine like an adult.
I know, right? Why can't anybody just graduate to the real shit?
So what'd you do for New Year's? Anything special?
No, we stayed home. Really didn't do much. I think it was the first year. I've let Riker stay up till midnight before. I don't know if he actually made it the last couple years. I think he fell asleep. But this year, he was super pumped, and was actually he's like, I can't wait until midnight, Dad. And I'm like, why? He's like, 'cause 2019 sucked. Go 2020. He starts screaming. He's like, he went nuts. And so we watched the ball drop with Gronkowski and what's his name from Family Feud?
Oh, they had Gronk on there. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
with the dude from, what the hell's the guy's name from Family Feud? Why can't I think of his name? I always forget somebody's name. Yeah, Steve Harvey. Every week I forget somebody's name that I should know.
Well, that's ironic because he forgets the winner of the pageant.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, so
bring it back.
Gronkowski was he was pretty fucking hammered on there, and he was just going crazy. And then he was spiking shit randomly. He would grab stuff and just spike it on the ground and be like, yeah, I'm Gronk, and somebody made this, I don't even know what the backstory was, but it was a Steve Harvey Lego thing, and it was fucking legit. That thing was cool. And you could tell Steve Harvey, he had that little glimmer in his eye, he's like, oh, that's me. I think he wanted to take it home and put it on his mantle or something. But Gronk picked it up and spiked the fucking thing and broke it on live TV. And fucking Steve Harvey's like, why would you do that? He got you couldn't tell if he was really pissed or if it was part of the act. But I think Steve Harvey's the little inner child in him died right there at that moment. He ended up coming back and they were laughing again, but I was like, that was fucking great.
Wow, what a dick. Gronk's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty funny. The music sucked. Then the ball dropped and Riker screamed on top of his lungs, the 5-second countdown. And then I was like, get your ass to bed. Right.
God, we didn't even see the ball drop this year. Oh, well. There's always next year, right?
Yeah, it looks the same every year. You're like, did it look like that last year? I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, we're an hour behind anyway. Yeah, it's always an hour before it actually happens for us, so it's not really that special. But
right. Well, I think I was watching the New Orleans one, so it was actually in real time.
Oh wow, good choice. We went on a double date with a couple of friends and had some prime rib buffet, and then went to a bar. But the fun part was we did the Goodwill date.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, you look like a child rapist.
That was kind of the point. Yeah.
That was like your old
absolutely.
Halloween costume we talked about.
Yeah, you know what's sad? I actually bought these clothes recently, so I have like 3 outfits like this now.
Oh Christ! I think
And
that
it's
dress
really
is too
sad.
long for Lindsay. Buddha's wife looks like she should be what was the I can't think of the name of the show. The one where the guy had like 5 wives, the Mormon show. It looks like she should be on that.
You should have seen the one they tried, but it was like made for a mannequin. It was like an Amish woman's dress. Like, oh my god, if that had a bonnet.
Yeah, either way, it's pretty close. And then Buddha is look what I can do. Yeah.
And then, of course, my sweet sunglasses had to make an appearance.
Now that's 2 episodes in a row now, Buddha. Gotcha.
As I say, I hope he's listening. If not, I'll have to tell him to.
Yeah. Yeah, make him do it. Damn it. That's how this works, don't you know? Just shove our thoughts and shitty ideas down everybody's throats. And
well, yeah, that's the general idea of a podcast. You don't hope people stumble across it organically. You push it on your friends and family until they unfriend you on social media so they don't have to see it anymore.
That sounds like a great idea. Man, I should have tried that strategy from the get-go. I could have got rid of a couple of brothers. Now.
Well, yeah, what the fuck? What are you waiting for, man?
New strategy coming in.
No, yours are just me like, why didn't you invite me on the podcast? You had one.
Yeah. I did invite a couple others, but no. Okay, so yeah, that wraps that up. How about bull picks?
On a sad note, man,
yeah,
we just hit some feels
that was fucking weird, man. That shit just kind of went. Yeah, damn. So yeah, we're almost done with bowl season. How'd we do?
Yeah.
You you told me last you looked at it, I was 16 and 19.
Yeah, I've actually had the thing in front of me all week at work, and I've been checking off, and obviously I'm not at work, so I don't have it in front of me, but you were 19 and 19 last, remember? You actually got on a tear there and won like 3 in a row.
That's a tear for me. That's how fucking sad my picks were. 3 in a row is a fucking tear for me.
It was pretty fucking bad. Yeah. I basically blew you away. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, it started getting close at the end, but I had such a lead on you anyway. It wasn't.
Yeah, there's not enough games for me to catch up now. Yeah.
No, the last one we had, both of us had Lafayette, and I'm pretty sure they won, and I think we both had one wrong before that, and really all that's left now. We'll get the final tally here for next week once. Well, yeah, because the title game is next Monday. Next Monday. So yeah, we'll probably have to record after Monday so we can at least go over how the game went and see who your national championship is. And
yeah, I'm excited for that game.
Give our final tally.
I'm excited for that game. I'm excited NFL playoffs right now. There's been some upsets and some good matchups and some fun to watch there. So I don't know. I'm actually paying attention to the NFL playoffs this year.
I haven't seen much of anything for the NFL playoffs this year. I just know Eagles just got dumped out. The Patriots didn't make it. That's hilarious. I'm hoping the Packers lose because fuck the Packers. Go Bears. That's about where I'm at with the NFL. But I'm looking forward to the college national championship. I'm still just totally bummed we're not getting Ohio State LSU. It just breaks my heart.
It does.
And it surprises me how I think the line was like 5.5, kind of what I was saying. It's not that big. And a lot of people are like, no, Clemson outright. I'm like, get fuck, Clemson's not winning.
I keep hearing that too, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't get it, but
no. And I'm like, look, if you look at how Clemson gave everything they had against Ohio State, and Ohio State gave like a C+ game at best, and it took a miracle for
and
Clemson
they still
to win.
should have won that game. On paper, they did. minus the
Well,
score.
Ohio State threw a pick at the end. Plus, then there was the catch that was a fumble, then not a fumble. Whatever.
That was a disaster.
So, yeah, I don't think Clemson has any chance at all. I could be wrong. I got $20 with Eckler on LSU. He said Clemson's going to win. Okay, this is the easiest $20. I'll win.
Yeah.
Fine with me.
Yeah, I got my brother Tom, who's I don't know, one of those Clemson not a Clemson, a Roll Tide, Roll Turd, whatever convert.
Well, maybe if Clemson wins the third straight, it'll be time to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, there you go. But he still owes me from the last time Alabama lost. I told him they were going to lose, so he still owes me. I think he owes me $20, and I thought we did a double or nothing this year that they would win it outright again. And I'm like, oh, I'll take that bet. Like,
he tried. I'm pretty sure he tried betting me in like 2014. Or 2013 or 2012, that Michigan was going to win the Big Ten. I'm like, okay, easiest fucking money I've ever made.
Just glad he doesn't live in a state with casinos. He'd have a big problem.
Yeah.
Fuck, he can't. Yeah, he can't get a bet on fucking football. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, actually, I just realized that I'm going to be going here up to.
You got to
Omaha.
Yeah. Don't you have that Texas trip coming up? Royal Rumble?
We're going to. Me and Phil are going to Houston for the Royal Rumble, and I think we're gonna park my truck at like the Horseshoe and try to shuttle over to the airport, so I don't have to pay for parking. I think you can do that, but when we get back from Houston, because you can't gamble, there's no casinos in Texas, so. I think when we get back, we might just run in the casino real quick. I'll see whichever one's got the sports book now, because they've got it and they're doing very well.
Yeah.
Run up to Omaha and your Council Bluffs, put in your sports book bets and not have to fly out to Vegas.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what that sports book looks like out there. It'd be a nice change of pace. But I haven't been up to the boats for a while. Kind of go in there for like half hour to an hour. Check it out before we head home.
I haven't been there. I don't know when it comes to any like sports betting or anything like that. Have you looked into like Bet DSI?
Which one's that?
It's a sports betting website pretty much. They put it on damn near every sport.
I use Bovada.
No, I've never used that one.
I've looked at
Bet DSI. They got all kinds of stuff on there, so I don't know. I thought about jumping into that one, but I don't know. I'm afraid I'd get addicted to losing a lot of money.
Well, that's why, like with Bovada, I only put like $25 in at a time, and I just make my little bets throughout the season for college football, and I'll do like a $1 to $2 parlay every week, and if I hit, awesome. If I don't, I'm only out a couple bucks. I try to make that last the whole season. If I do, I did okay. I hit one parlay this year, and I've only got like $5-6 left in there, so not as bad as most years.
Yeah.
But on that site, you can, you can do the live prop bets. Is this going to be a completion, a pick, whatever, or hell, they've got online casino. And I went in there one time. I'm like, holy shit, there's a digital roulette table. This has got to be totally fair and square,
fuck,
right?
Yeah, I bet that's legit as fuck.
Oh my God. Well, I had to try it. So I threw like $10 on black one time. Hey, I hit. I'm gone. Thanks for the $20. See ya.
Yeah. And speaking of legit,
because otherwise I'm going to lose 100.
Speaking of legit as fuck, did you see that post I had I screenshotted and sent to you on that podcast group where that guy was trying to make your viral go viral?
I will viral your music viral, and you'll be so viral. Do you know what viral means? Yes.
So for those listening in, if you heard the last time Phil was on here, Phil and I had a pretty good discussion about it. And Tony, I don't think you were in the room for it, so maybe we can bring this up again. But I was talking to him about how when I was trying to find a random guest to jump on the podcast, I went to that podcast group trying to find somebody to jump on, and it was nothing but mindfulness coaches and all this creepy shit. And like that's all that whole group is just filled with them. And I was looking at everybody else, and it was the same like 13 people saying, "Oh yeah, here's my story. Look at me. Hey." Like, and they're just attacking everybody's post, and it was fucking gross, and it was weird. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that while I try to find the funny post, and I'll share it on here?
Well, social media is the easiest platform to whore your brand out. And in this day and age, you are your own brand.
That's
your
gross.
name. It is, but I can't say I'm not guilty of it too. Like, I have joined countless wrestling Facebook groups just so as soon as Phil and I get our video uploaded to YouTube, I can take the link and just paste it into every group that I'm in that it's relevant to, one right after the other. So, because that's the only way you're going to get a following anymore, especially if you're in a niche podcast like that.
But just like when you have
without
to create
paying
a
for
brand,
the sponsorship.
Right, but when you said you had to create a brand, that's what I find gross, because that's what these people are doing. They're a mindfulness coach or a life coach because they went through a traumatic experience, and that's all they're about. Is their one traumatic experience changed their entire life, and that's all that matters to them. So everything that goes wrong from now on, I just look back at this one shitty time I had and how I overcame it, and everything's all better because I have a positive attitude. Fuck you. That's not how life works.
That's the problem. Here you go. Back to the wrestling. Everybody has to have a gimmick, and everybody has to have a backstory. Otherwise, you're not interesting. You're not unique. People are only going to follow you and subscribe to you and listen to you if you have some uniqueness about you that they can get behind. You have to have a quirk. You have to have a backstory. You have to have some sort of gimmick to get over in this day and age, because everybody is a brand in 2020.
Yeah, it's still gross. Maybe that's why our show's not popular. I don't have a brand.
Well, I mean, probably we're not gimmicky enough yet.
No,
we'll find a gimmick. Don't worry.
So here's the post. So those of you just listening in, it's from a MD.
That is grainy as fuck.
Is it?
That looks like shit. Oh, wait, hang on. It's starting to get clear.
Okay. Anyway, so this is from
it's readable.
MD Milton Hussein on a No Rules podcast group. Post anything you want. He says, "Will you viral your Spotify ? I can viral your Spotify music, period. So you can trust me and give me your Spotify music." So...
what does he think Spotify does, and what does he think viral means?
I don't know, but I love the comments. So right away, Mr. Hunter Ferris.
Yeah, there it is.
Are you sure you're using the word viral right? ? And then this MD Milton Hussein replies, yes, within a couple minutes. And then the next one, which is my favorite, Christy Weber says, seems legit.
That's always a good immediate comment. Always go with seems legit when it never seems legit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a little dated. We haven't found one yet for 2020. But it's a classic.
We'll get to that.
I mean, we're only 7 days into the year, so hopefully we'll have our new meme.
Oh, yeah. People are creeps. People are weird. Fuck your brand.
Well, yeah. Actually,
shit.
I say, if as far as new memes go, have you seen the one of the side-by-side split screen? It's the two girls sitting in front of the webcam, and they start losing their shit.
You
haven't seen that?
No.
All right. I'm going to try to find it.
Is this going to replace that stupid fucking cat one? I'm tired of that fucking cat. That cat's just...
Yeah, and this is a video, so... And it's apparently TikTok's a big thing now. I don't know.
TikTok is run by the Chinese government. I will not join. Did you see that? Well. Did you see that website I posted the other day that creeped me the fuck out?
Which one?
So no, I'll have to look it up. But you know what they're doing in China, right? They like have a popularity like number for you. It's almost like a credit score, but it's for like popularity and how much other people rate you and like you. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, no, I went to that and I punched my name in and God, did I screenshot it? Hang on, I may have screenshot it.
I know you were on there. I searched for myself and my wife, and we weren't on there, so I was happy with that. I could not find us at any of our previous addresses. But dude, that site just creeped me the fuck out.
That was all over. Like everything it popped up for.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked up, I think you and one other person, but it was like pulling up your Facebook profile, like everything. Like
here it is. I did screenshot it. My name, my age, my location, and my relatives, my mom, my dad, my wife. And my reputation score is 3.98 out of 5.
That's gross.
I don't know how to feel about that. But no, that's not the first time I've seen that, actually. I'd seen that, I want to say a couple of years ago. Like not maybe that specific one, but there's several like it.
They had an episode of Black Mirror about that, but that's really what they're trying to do in China. Like that's a real fucking thing there. Is you'll be judged on your popularity score and shit.
So that's what that's for.
Well, that's a California fucking version of it. It's fucking gross. Oh God, it like angered me right when I seen it. And then when I noticed I'm not on there, they don't have my info for whatever fucking reason. Apparently I didn't log into whatever naughty site you did. And they didn't take my data. It was gross. The whole thought is just gross to me. I don't want no popularity contest over the goddamn internet. If you don't like me, come fucking tell me. Don't be a little pussy and give me a shitty score online. I ain't got time for that. Cocksuckers.
Well,
I threw it in there for you.
You eventually caved and got a Facebook anyways. So.
Yeah, and then I changed my name so nobody can fucking find me.
So here's the new one. This is the new meme. Like, okay. I don't know. Can you hear it?
No. I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
So when you go to share, make sure you hit share audio.
Oh, well. Jesus. Gotta be a dick about it, I mean.
Oh, I can just cut this.
First it's the Cowboy Kid. Now it's this. Whatever. We'll do it again.
Just learn how to use this shit, deal.
Well, you wanted the audio now?
Hoping you take
okay, so you get the point.
Okay.
So people are taking that and putting it side by side with random shit. The first one I saw, I didn't understand what the fuck was happening because I didn't get it yet. So now I see it, now I get it. So they put that side by side with a piece of boneless chicken, and it was just a black person seasoning it.
God.
So the white people are freaking out.
Oh, fuck.
Then the next one I saw was, it's just a guy standing there holding a sign that says free pass on the N-word.
Jesus Christ.
So
what kind of fucking memes people are you hanging out with?
It's the same savage meme group that we were talking about.
No.
Yeah. Gotta love the meme lords. They're like Phil said, they're our only honest form of information and news.
Yeah. So, speaking of memes real quick, and a little side topic, we'll get into the Iran thing a little bit later, but this Masamalami or whatever salami dude that we bombed and killed. I found a news article. I'll try to find it for our Iran bit, but like somebody had a conspiracy theory that the only reason Trump killed him is because he responded to a Trump tweet with a meme, and Trump didn't forget it. And I guess it's true. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I need to look that up.
Wow. Oh, geez.
So we'll bring that up later on in the show, folks.
my God.
I'll find that and see if that's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah, Snopes, that
That'd be-
shit. I bet Snopes says it's true. We check facts as long as they're left leaning.
Oh God. So
I'm
outside
getting
of
caught
that,
up on South Park, and I just got to the episode of where Randy goes to jail and he calls Mr. Garrison up, who's the president, imitating Trump. And now I just go ahead and you accuse him of doing what you were accused of. It's real easy. Just accuse me of doing something. Okay, well, you went in and shit on this and blew it up. No, I didn't do that. You fucking did that. Wow, you're really good at that. Obviously mimicking the Trump saying, well, maybe I did. I didn't do it, but Biden did. But even though it's pretty well documented that pretty much they both fucking did. We know they both fucking did.
yeah, it's all gross.
It's all, I mean, Jesus. I love it. Everybody loves to get outraged these days. Maybe 2020 will be different, but everybody likes to get outraged about stuff that their biased news source says you should get outraged by. Me, I'm just over here like, fuck, they're all goddamn pedophile criminal pieces of shit. Why do you care? Why are we pretending like one's better than the other one?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a conundrum, if you will.
I don't. Okay, holy shit! I found it. This is real.
All right.
This is a real
No.
meme. Oh my god.
God, no.
Oh my
Why?
god. I wonder.
Does it
So
have to be?
Trump is a fucking lunatic, and at times I love it, and
Well,
times
yeah.
it scares the shit out of me. Okay, here you go. No matter what your thoughts are on the border, this is one that I was reading today. So, it's genius, and I don't know if you don't like the premise of it, which is border control, then sorry, but this is like fucking 8D chess that Trump's playing right now. So he is taking people that are seeking asylum from Mexico and flying them to fucking Honduras and says they'll take you. Like, that's our new policy. Like, what the fuck?
What? Wait, what? Say that again.
So if you're a Mexican national and you try to cross into the U.S. for asylum, we say, oh, you're in danger in Mexico? Well, you can go to Honduras and you'll be fine. So we'll fly you there. And then just fucking sending families to fucking Honduras for asylum instead of making them wait here for 360 days.
What the fuck?
I know, right? But like,
What? No.
it's kind of a dick move and it's kind of genius all at the same time. And it's like, okay, like, this is who you're dealing with, people. Like, there's always a way.
I mean, oh,
Am I wrong? Like,
we're so fucked.
oh, so here you
Just
go.
in general.
So there's
All right,
Trump's
let's
meme
see
on the
it.
left. Sanctions are coming. On the right is
Hanging
Soleimani.
on, it's not. Oh, here it comes.
Oops.
Turn off your no thanks. Yep, thank you.
So on the left,
Sanctions are coming.
Trump did the sanctions are coming. That's Soleimani on the right. I will stand against you. And it's the
Wow.
the whole Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Yeah.
So this was back in
Wow.
November 3rd of 2018. They were
Wow.
yeah. Now, I don't know if Soleimani actually tweeted it. From one of the articles I read, he did, but that was something that ended up on Twitter on Trump's original tweet with that.
Yeah, you know what? This might have some legs if we haven't been teasing the idea of invading Iran for 20 years longer.
Well, I don't know. Okay, so apparently we're getting into the Iran talk. So like,
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'll so the whole Iran thing. So this goes back to the 70s, of course, when they captured the 52 Americans and held them for a year or something like that. They took our embassy. It was some shady shit going on back then. But ever since then, they've been screaming death to America. We've heard everything on the left side and on the right side on the news over the last 2 days, especially for those that are living under a rock. We killed their general, Qassam al-Assami, whatever his name was. Everybody agrees he was a pretty bad dude, but he was really revered, supposedly. And then if you look at, some people, they're, when you look at the thousands of people in the streets in Iran, a lot of people are saying that if they don't go out in the streets of Iran, the government will kill them. So, of course, they're out there in the streets of Iran joining the protests because that's the type of regime that's running the country. I don't know. I don't know fucking shit about geopolitics. All I knew is supposedly this guy killed Americans, and that's where Trump kind of drew the line. Now, prior to that, since Trump came into office, and I saw this fucking Don Lemon. I seen his dumbass on CNN, because I jump back and forth. I watch them all because I like to judge them all the same and hate them all equally when I can. So Don Lemon's like pulling up tweets from 2012 when Trump.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Don Lemon pulled up these tweets and was calling out Trump for getting on Obama's ass about this. Okay, whatever. That's 2012, 2013. Here's where Donald Trump's been since he's been in the office. They attacked oil fields in Saudi Arabia. No Americans died. He does nothing about it. They allegedly were bombing. Remember in the Gulf over there? I can't remember what the Gulf Peninsula or whatever. They were bombing those ships where they send all the oil tankers through. There was a bunch of ships being bombed over there, and most of that got blamed on Iran. No Americans died. We did nothing. They shot down one of our fucking drones, and everybody got pissed. All the Democrats got pissed at Trump because he didn't do anything about it. And he goes, no Americans died. I'm not going to do anything about it. Well, before all this shit happened a couple of weeks ago, they killed an American on one of their attacks. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it wasn't a soldier. It was a contractor got killed. So Trump got pissed, and they bombed a few places, killed a few of them. And so then they attacked the embassy. That's our property. So Trump supposedly found out that not only were they trying to take the embassy, but this Soleimani guy had, and supposedly the Congress is going to be told all about what is really going on here in the next day or two and why it was an imminent attack and they had to take him out. But supposedly this dude was gonna do something big quickly, and that's why he was in Iraq. So they took the dude out. So I think he's shown a lot of restraint, and he's only done anything when an American has been killed or injured, or our property has been, like physical property, like the embassy has been attacked. He didn't do anything over the drone. And then tonight, we all think World War III did start when Iran fires 15 ballistic missiles at 2 of our air bases in Iraq. But we have no casualties, no injuries, no deaths. So it doesn't look like we're going to fucking do anything about it. So, hey, showing restraint. So to be fair with it, like, bring up all the tweets you want. I don't give a shit. I've said stupid shit 10 years ago. Like, that's just dumb. That's just arguing to argue it. I don't even know how you're arguing at that point when you're bringing up a tweet from 2012 about somebody who's not in fucking office anymore.
Did they think he only said outlandish shit on Twitter after he took office, or nah?
No, they're just trying to do everything. Orange Man's bad. That's all it is.
Well, yeah, Orange Man bad, and we can't have 4 more years yet.
Don't get me wrong. I don't know if I'm still like, I want to know more information about this whole thing. I'm not sure I'm a fan that he fucking killed the Soleimani guy. I don't know enough about the whole goddamn situation, and you'll have the people point their
nobody
finger.
who thinks they do actually know enough about it to actually judge it, but they're gonna judge it. So let them be fucking asshats about it.
Yeah, and
we're
those
not fucking
listening
politicians. I don't care who thinks they know everything about fucking politics. We are not. But if you're on a message board arguing against or for a war decision, shut the fuck up. You're a goddamn nobody on a message board. You don't know shit. You're a goddamn nobody on Facebook. You don't know shit. Just let the fucking politicians do what we pay them way too fucking much money to do.
And for that person that's sitting there screaming at Tony right now on their phone or on their TV or whatever you're listening in on, calm the fuck down. Because your finger waving and
snowflake.
Well, your finger waving and pointing at either Tony or myself and telling us why we should hate this guy or why we shouldn't hate this guy. I don't know. Maybe he should be dead. Maybe he shouldn't be dead. I don't fucking know. That's all we're fucking saying is we have no business. We can have an opinion on it, and I prefer to be educated on that opinion with my own thoughts, not yours. So give us the opportunity for that. So I don't know why we just assume somebody's yelling at us right now.
Well, because if somebody happens
because
to cross this and listens to that specific part, they're going to be fucking
sensitive topic. And fucking goddamn, everybody gets so pissed about this stuff. God, calm down.
I mean, let's just face it. Like you said, he's actually been Donald Trump as president has been far more restrained about any war act or, anti-diplomacy than anybody could have possibly predicted, because we're coming up on an election year and he's just now doing this. Of course, so now that's happening, everybody's like, well, this is to distract us from the impeachment that was going so well, and this is to get him re-election because the impeachment was going to detract him from getting re-elected, so he's going to war, so all the rednecks that don't want us to take their guns will vote more for him because he went to war and killed them because they're all racist.
Yeah, and then you have the dumb shits of the world, Rose McGowan, and her fucking tweet. I sent you that, didn't I?
Fucking believe when you sent me that. I seriously just I can't live on this planet anymore.
So those that didn't see it, so her tweet was literally, and it's funny, she talks about disrespecting their country, but I'm pretty sure the flag she sent was like an emoji flag. Anyway. Dear Iran, the USA has disrespected your country, your flag, your people. 52% of us humbly apologize. Oh, here comes the virtue signaling. Woohoo! We want peace with your nation. We are being held hostage by a terrorist regime. We don't know how to escape. Please don't kill us. Pound Soleimani. Please don't kill us. Okay.
Well, thankfully, she had the balls to step up and beg for mercy on our behalf, you stupid twat.
Oh, my. The virtue signaling is
you
crazy.
Can cut that if you need.
No, she deserves that. If you really want me to, I can, but oh, my God.
Yeah. I don't know who's going to listen to it and get fucking offended. Mostly just because they don't like the T word, but
yeah,
what an idiot. Are you fucking kidding me? Just, God, these... When
you post something like this on Twitter, you deserve to be called yeah.
I think something you wanted to talk about kind of leads into this, and that was, of course, the Golden Globe speech.
Oh my God.
Gervais saying what needed to be fucking said.
Fucking made my week, and I know everybody... I'm not going to...
He kills every time he does it, but this was amazing.
So... I want to dive into some of the shit he said behind the scenes that people aren't probably paying attention to. Because, yeah, he had the normal funny jokes, but it was some of the quieter stuff that a lot of people really didn't pay attention to. They hung on a few taglines and just soaked those up, which is fine, whatever. Let me scroll through here. So for those just listening in once again, we're digging into Ricky Gervais, who was host of the Golden Globes. You probably have heard a little bit about it.
That was a good line. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. That was great.
I did like when he when they shifted over to the dude from Apple, and he says, "You say you're woke, but companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?" And
That was great.
called him out for having a sweatshop. That was.
It's all blurry. Why are you all blurry?
I don't know. It's because I don't have my nicer computer. I'm sorry. Hopefully this records. All right. Let's see. Where is the one I'm digging for?
Yeah.
It's when he pops up the Jeffrey Epstein thing. Did you hear what? Did you hear the crowd?
They were surprised.
They were less than amused.
Yeah.
You heard groans. Like,
well, and he said, "Hey, he's your friend. You had to all fly yourself here." Yeah.
But that part, because of the Lolita Express, right? And that's where he was like, not everybody flew on his plane, right? Some of you guys flew yourselves, right? And nobody focused on that, but yeah, a lot of those guys flew their own fucking jets there. They didn't have to jump on the Lolita Express. So he pretty much
he said something that was taken as a joke, but no, there was at least one motherfucker in that audience.
Oh, there's a few.
You know that's true.
Oh, there's a few.
Exactly.
And he pretty much said, "Hey, you dirty fucking perverts. You know who you are. You're friends with this fucking asshole. Don't fucking tell me you're not." And the whole time, he said it over and over. Every time they didn't like a joke, he goes, shut up. He's like, fuck you. The whole time, he's just like, fuck you. I knew you weren't going to like that joke. It's because it's about you, you fucking idiots. What was one of the first ones? Who puts
this
on
was towards the end, but this was my favorite. If you win, come up, accept your little award tonight. Come up, accept it, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off. No one cares about your views on politics or culture. That's fucking fantastic.
Yep. He said, none of you know what the fuck you're talking about. It's great.
And they showed like Tom Hanks in the crowd reacting to it. He's just like,
No,
it's great because it's true. Nobody should be taking their fucking political or cultural advice from these assholes making billions of dollars from TV shows and movies who are getting paid just to swerve you one way or the other. Because you think these tweets and these opinions are their own. They're fucking not. These people don't have an original thought in their head. 90% of them.
If they want to get the fucking movie role in the payday they want, they need to.
They have to
get into the same think tank as every fucking buddy else in that goddamn town to get the job they want. Fuck them all.
Well, Hollywood is liberal as fuck, and you think they're gonna get a goddamn gigantic movie deal in the new Star Wars trilogy?
That's my favorite part. Is Ricky Gervais?
Maybe
Ricky Gervais is liberal as fuck, and he still fucking called them all out.
Yeah, and that's the way. That's how it's supposed to be. That's a real fucking liberal. There you go. Who's not afraid to say y'all fucking idiots. That's fine with me. I am fine with that. That's great. A free thinker.
So it was
somebody who's being honest.
It was like one of their best ratings that they've ever had. So what do you think now that was his last year doing it?
Just 5th year total. Holy shit.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not doing this anymore, so I don't care. So what do you think that means moving forward? If they finally had good ratings on there, does that mean they want somebody to come and roast them?
We kind of set the bar. I mean, he's been, I don't know how many years he did it consecutively, or they weren't consecutively, I don't think, but I mean, it's set now. The tone is set.
That was the first time I'd heard anything about it, so I don't know. I've never given a shit.
I remember the first time he did it, and he was pretty damn, not lewd, but blunt. So it hasn't changed. It's not like this was new. Like they must have done okay in the ratings prior to this, because they keep having him come back and being blunt. But I think he took it to another level, knowing that he's like, well, fuck, if I'm not going to do it anymore, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to say the shit that people need to hear, that everybody's afraid to say it. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's always been like that, though. That's why I like that guy. That's good. People
real
need to hear
dark
that. People
shit.
like that.
Yeah, needed to be said. And like half the news articles were like, he went too far, or I saw so many liberal fucking websites out there. I was just like, oh Jesus, this is gross.
Well, of course he went too far. He didn't bury the pedophile story like ABC had the balls to do, because that's what was important.
For 3 years. Yeah.
For 3 fucking years, you worthless pieces of shit.
It's gross.
If you're ever arguing with somebody online and they say, oh, here's a link, or here's my source, here's data that proves it, and they link to anything ABC related, you have my permission to call them a pedophile piece of shit.
just no matter what it is.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna use anything ABC owned or operated or related,
they bring a story of a firefighter rescuing a cat from some old lady's tree, you'd be like, oh no.
Hey.
Oh no, that's from ABC. Fuck you, dude. You're a fucking
you
child
are
predator,
a pedophile
motherfucker.
Defending piece of shit because you're using ABC. So fuck you, ABC. Am I the only one who feels this way?
I think no. I think they're all that way. The ABC just got caught. They got they got caught with a hot mic. All of them are like that.
That's
fucking
the
every
problem.
one of them are like that.
There you go. That's the problem. That's like I said earlier. Like, you're defending one politician while you're defending this guy, you're attacking this guy, and they're all just worthless pieces of shit. Even if they weren't before they took office, eventually.
Yeah.
The higher they get in the office, in the chain,
you know
the
what
worse it gets.
You know what the best part about media right now and a lot of these organizations is they get a lot of their information from independent reporters who work for multiple sources.
Yeah, who aren't biased or
well regardless of that, here's the what's happening right now. So a huge chunk of these news organizations, your online ones, are based out of California. Well, California passed a law, labor law, so like Uber drivers can't be an independent contractor anymore. You have to be employed or whatever your status can be. Like, you know, in most states, you can have a full-time job and you know, go do Uber whenever the hell you want to, or do Lyft or whatever, but not there. You have to file status with that company now. So it's killing independent contractors, which is most of the news media. So now if a news organization, say like Vox, VOX, decides, oh, well, normally I use a couple of people's articles for stuff like this, and they have like 30 or 40 people, they might get 1 or 2 articles from a month. No, they don't employ them people, so they can't use their articles anymore. So like media on that aspect, they fucking just ate themselves alive again, because that's what the fucking extreme left loves to do, is just eat shit all day until, you know, that's about all they do. But they went too far. Like, and then they start fucking eating themselves from within at a certain point. And now, like, they're killing entrepreneurs. They're killing independent sources and independent media. And, you know, it hurts good people, but it mainly hurt their own people. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you pass this law? Why are you okay with this?
Yeah.
They even wrote articles about how great it was. I'm like, hey, asshole that wrote that article, do you have a job now? Probably fucking not. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, did you really like look into it, or did you just go, you know what? The people that I think are really cool like this, so I like it too. Yeah, that's what you did, because they virtue signaled to you enough to where you just go, oh yeah, whatever you say. Is Obama on board? Fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, that's what they fucking do, man. It's like, read, fucking learn, and actually, you know, report on what you're seeing truthfully and have an objective thought about it.
It's funny though that you say that, because people do that, but they're already so far gone to what they want to believe that it doesn't matter. Reading words doesn't matter. It's how you take the context. If you think the context that you're reading is bullshit, you're not reading it anyway. You're dismissing it as you read it. So it's not like it fucking matters. People are only as educated as they want to be. And that's why I choose to be fairly uneducated on most of these matters, because what you're reading source material wise is probably bullshit anyway.
Yeah. I'm very sketchy on where I get my info from, and I
just take news and information as it comes to me, and I form my opinion mostly in the moment. And I get fucking hammered online for that in most instances.
Yeah.
Sometimes I form one that I'm like, okay, no, I can see why the echo chamber's right on this one. Other times I'm like, no, you're not looking at this as a whole. If you look at this from a different perspective, you can see it from both sides. And that's the only way to form an opinion, is by looking at something from each side. And people don't like doing that shit. And it drives me fucking nuts. I do that with everything in my everyday life. I like to look at it from,
like, I get that way too, where like we all have it. We're all, you know, quick to go, oh no, that doesn't, because we all have our own beliefs and our own thoughts and how
everybody's quick to judge.
Right.
It's in our nature.
So that, and that's why I'm like, when I hear something, I'll either go, nope, that's wrong, or yes, I like that. But then I have to go, wait a minute, like, let's look at this. And so wherever my thought comes from, maybe I'm taking kind of a righty point of view, or maybe a lefty point of view, because yes, folks, I'm pretty much down the middle, believe it or not. So I'll go listen to, you know, some far left commentary and search for it on YouTube. And then I'll find some far right commentary and see what they're saying about it. And then usually I'm like, okay, when I can see both sides' point of view, you see the holes in one or the other, and you can start to say, okay, my original opinion, okay, it may align with theirs, but I can see the holes because I listened to the left. You know, I agreed with the right guy at first, but then I listened to the left, and yeah, there's holes in that I didn't think about at first. And then you can kind of, you know, in your own head, form your own opinion about what's actually right when you get all the facts. Now, the thing is trying to find a lefty that's telling the truth and a righty that's telling the truth, because half the time they're both full of shit. So that's where you got to
good luck with that. You got to figure out a formula where that. Wow.
You limit your sources, my friend. You limit your sources. You have to find people that you trust that are 90% of the time are right, which is hard to do.
Well, that's why I like listening to you and Phil talk about issues, because it's not like you agree on everything. Like, it probably looks like it if you listen to a lot of these episodes, like the three of us are just a fucking echo chamber, right? But we're not.
Well, and a lot of times with the conversations we have, it's asking each other our opinions, and then usually it's because I think Phil and I do similar things when it comes to that, is we've thought it through and thought of what, you know, all the holes in it might be. And you'll see me, you know, try to poke a couple holes in what Phil's talking about, and he'll poke holes in what I'm talking about, because that's what we do. And that's what we've always done. We used to actually go at it big time with, we'd argue and bitch at each other a lot. We're more civil today than we used to be. But that's what we're doing. It's not a pissing contest anymore with us like it used to be. You know, now it's more of a trying to seek to understand of what's right and what's wrong. And sometimes I'll walk away going, you know what, Phil might have been fucking right on that, and I'll go look it up. And sometimes after I look it up, I go, no, I was still fucking right. Fuck him. But sometimes I'll look it up and be like, God damn it, Phil was right. But it's usually not a big deal.
Yeah. No, anytime, like, if I'm relating some of the questions that get hammered at me, if I make a, you know, less than calculated opinion known, and I get these questions thrown at me, and I'm like, well, I don't fucking know. I'm not as learned on the situation as you are. And I admit that. But I'll relate some of those questions, like, to you and Phil sometimes when we're doing that. And there's been a few times where I'll say it, and then he does his masterful illusion, deflection, and goes off
and
and
never
says something
answers the
awesome,
question and brings up something
never
else.
fucking acknowledges it. Immediately it's gone, and you almost forget about it. You almost forget about it. Because you're like, damn, that was funny, or that was really well said, or that was good. You're like, oh, that motherfucker.
You're like, what color's your
They
shoe?
did make a good
Well,
point.
Tony, let me tell you about the constellation Orion. Like, did you know one of the stars are dimming right now? Like, I asked you what
There are
color
more
my fucking
important
shoe
things.
was. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Just answer the fucking question. No, I get you.
Yeah,
I'm
wait a
known to do
minute,
that
dude.
sometimes too if I don't want to answer a question.
Well, you got to be good at it. You got to be good at it. Phil's good at it. I'm not good at that. I'm like, I'm too committed to trying to please people when we have discussions. So like, I overthink it, and I'm way too focused. I'm like, motherfucker, why didn't I just deflect? It works so well.
As long as it's something that doesn't, conflict with my morals and values, I usually don't get too upset about it, unless somebody's just being a cocksucker. Like, if they're just being so fucking far out there with their thoughts that it's just beyond sanity. And then I like picture them trying to teach a kid, and then I get upset, and I'm like, you have no business breathing the same air that I am at this moment. Like, and then I start like, I have to sit there and like calm myself down at what's the best way to approach this. I need to get them. I either need to leave or they need to leave at this point. That's where it starts getting to. Not violently. I'm not like that, but but then I have to, start doing some word ninja shit and get rid of them.
Well, one of the big topic, and you know what, one of the big topics that somehow we have actually avoided for the most part on this show is the gun rights issue, and that's been kind of a hot topic on the message board I frequent.
Yeah,
and
I actually
we're not going to go into it.
I wanted to touch on it, actually.
Well,
tonight.
we can, but that's actually been one of the big topics.
I
on
actually
the
wanted
board.
to give you some homework on it because
okay,
I had a friend of mine from years ago. Recently liked our page and apparently started watching some of our podcasts, and out of the blue, get a Facebook message of a video. And it's a guy warning the citizens of Virginia of the new Second Amendment laws that are, I believe they're in effect now. And the way they're written is scary as hell. And now I don't know the guy who made the video. That's like the homework I got to do. I can forward it to you. But it's a little conspiratorial, like the way the video goes, because it makes it sound like, the government's coming for your guns. Like, oh my God. I don't know how many times I've heard this over the years, but it's also another strategy it's another strategy to numb you to that thought and to get people like me that would actually like go load my guns when they actually came to come take them, to keep me calm and say it's never going to fucking happen. Now, but the Virginia law, if it's actually written the way it shows in that video, is fucking scary. And the whole thing is terrible. And when you look at, for those that understand when the purpose of having the Electoral College, when you look at the state of Virginia, almost the entire state geographically is a red state, except for like two little blue dots. But that's where a huge chunk of the population in that state live. Yeah. And they are super lefty, and they're trying to get rid of guns completely. Meanwhile, the other 90 counties, 90, I believe was the number I read, want to be Second Amendment sanctuaries. So nearly everybody outside of these two cities have nothing to do with this, and they've been outvoted by two cities.
Yeah.
That's why you have an electoral college, and that's why you have a federal government that regulates the states a little bit, because sometimes the states like to fuck over their own people too. It's not just the federal government. Sometimes the state government can do it too. So it's now
obviously Virginia's a more populous state, but you take it and look at like Nebraska, and you've got basically two big cities in Lincoln and Omaha. The rest, it's small rural communities. And should the culture of Omaha be able to decide what's best for the culture of fucking Alliance with Carhenge in it? I mean, it's not the same world. It's a completely different world. So, yeah, you can't really regulate one place the same as you can the other. And that's why it's good and bad that, we have our 50 states and we can all individually have different laws state by state for what our individual needs are as different states. But even within state lines, it's not the same world. And like you're saying, two populous cities, rest is dense as hell. So how do you determine what's fair and what's not? It can't be the same laws. It has to be, but it can't be. It's a total conundrum.
It is. And it's different cultures within the same state too.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
That's the big thing. That was the big thing this week. Flat out, like one of the most respected guys, most well-spoken, just informative, well-informed, but opinionated guys on the message board I frequent, has been very staunch on his gun rights opinions. And he's one of those guys, doesn't own guns. That's fine. Don't care. Not a problem. You can have an opinion even if you don't own guns. That's fine. But his opinion is that it's not a mental health issue ever, and mental health is not a problem. The problem and the only problem and the only thing we should worry about is the availability of guns to the public. And I'm like, okay. And then, then people bring up Norway as an example. I'm like, name a fucking country that's actually comparable to America. Yeah, no fucking comparisons were made. There's maybe 2 or 3 that people could actually compare. And even then, it's a fucking long shot because this is such a unique country. Like, yes, we are leaning on, amendment rights that were, probably maybe a little obsolete in 2020. But at the same time, this still is a free nation, and you have to respect that. So some of these things that people say, I don't get it, because they're like, I'm pretty much okay with them taking our guns. I'm not. They are. It's not a mental health issue. Well, is it? I feel like it is. Can you tell me that a gun owner that owns guns for 30 years and never has a problem, never shoots anybody, abides by the rules, they don't have a mental problem? But somebody who's never owned a gun, never even maybe operated a gun, gets one, maybe shadily off of a gun auction, takes it and goes and kills 10 people. That's not a mental health problem. That's the availability of the gun problem. Or is it both? Because I think it's both.
The availability of the gun debate and taking that stance is so flawed, because it can easily be just thrown out. Find something that person likes. I'm sure they may fancy a drink once in a while. Maybe they like to drive fast in their car. Okay.
Right.
So you can't drink, and you can never fancy a drink because drinks kill people. You can't drive a car, especially fast. Just the availability of cars kills, that cars kill people. So we just won't have cars anymore. So fuck you. Like that's the stance he's taking.
Guns are made with the sole purpose of killing people. That's what the argument is. Cars aren't made to kill people. Booze,
they're for hunting.
Booze is made to not kill you, but it will do that if you do it to excess. But guns' specific purpose. Knives? I agree, but you can't kill a crowd of people with a knife.
How about a slingshot? How about a rock?
Good luck.
I can fucking smack you in the head with a rock.
Hey, I agree with you 100%. Weapons are weapons, but it's what the weapon is specifically designed to do and its effectiveness.
So he's afraid of the weapon because he doesn't understand the weapon. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's a lot of it. I'm sure it is a lot of it. And it is scary because you read about this shit, you hear about this shit, you watch this shit on the news where people pick it up, get it with no effort, and go and do horrible, horrible shit. I can absolutely understand why somebody gets freaked out about it. It freaks me out too, and I own guns. And when this stuff happens, these mass shootings, I'm like, you know what? hey, if it would stop one, I'll turn mine in. If somehow that would be a chain reaction, I'll do it. Fuck it. If it saves, 50 fucking lives, fine. Take mine. I'm willing to sacrifice that, but not everybody should be.
Right. But the fact that this person's so so quick to omit the thought of mental health not being
it's a problem.
Factor. Well,
it's a fucking problem.
And if they dismiss that's being a problem, take guns out of the equation. Just take the guns out real quick and tell me mental health is not a fucking problem at all. That you can't.
There you have it.
So you mix a gun with it, then it's a real fucking problem. Then it's a big fucking problem. So
I don't even think it's just mental health, though.
Oh,
I think it goes beyond that.
The problem is the gun thing is so fucking complicated. There's so many things that go into it, and everybody's so goddamn afraid to take a stance one way or another on this goddamn thing. One, because they're not going to get reelected. They're not going to
even like it.
The people that have to take a stance won't get reelected when they do, and that's why it'll never go anywhere.
Well, there you go. And
I'm not telling them to take a stance one way or another, but that's where we're at. The
what
big
was it,
fear,
2015?
The big fear is there will be a confiscation. And when I send you the video that I'm talking about, and we can discuss it next week. We can have Phil come on and join with it too, because if this is real and if this actually goes down in Virginia to where there is a supposedly, again, shame on me if this is conspiracy, and I've done dick for research on here. So there are UN vehicles coming on trains into Virginia. There is a job opening as of December 23rd, I believe, for a UN confiscation officer.
Oh.
So
what is that?
Somebody who confiscates shit? I don't know.
UN confiscation officer. Huh.
So,
okay.
So you got those weird little things going on in there. This bill passes, and the wording of it is so vague that anybody could just say, "Oh, well, I don't like you." It's all filled with red flag laws, which anybody can point a finger and just say, "Fuck you, I want your guns." And then it says, if you are a government official, elected or appointed, either way, and you fail to adhere to this law and this amendment, you are removed from duty and will be held accountable for it. So if you are a government official that's in a sanctuary city as a sheriff or a mayor or whoever, and you say, no, we're not going to abide by this law, the state will remove you. And they have also previously warned that they will utilize the National Guard within the state to enforce whatever they need to. If all these things could happen and be true, first off, I don't think the National Guard would fucking bite on this. I think they'd be like, fuck you. I think the federal government would tell them to go piss on a tree. We ain't fucking with this. But they're also putting together a task force of people supposedly to round up and confiscate guns from whoever they feel like they need to confiscate them from. If this is real, it is a horrible, horrible way to start this process. And if it spreads to the wrong areas of this country, if it actually happens and it makes it out of Virginia, I don't know how far it will actually go before shit hits the fan. I know it won't make it to us.
It's a civil war too.
It's not going to make it. Well, yeah, that's what it'll turn into if it fucking gets too far. I don't think it'll make it that far, personally. No. I think it hits South Carolina and fucking shit hits the fan.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's about as far as I think it makes it, but
I don't think we're going to see a lot of enforcement if that even is the real thing, because civil war is obviously something you want to fucking avoid. So the enforcement of it, I don't know. But that's the fear. Like you said, it's not like it's not without legs, because we have had presidential hopefuls here within the last 6 months, like fucking Beto saying, hell yeah, I'm going to take your guns. on a fucking interview. He said that.
Yeah, it's a common narrative now.
Quote. Yeah. So it's not like that was always the thing. Like the fucking hard liberals are like, well, it's not like anybody says they want to take your guns. Motherfucker.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
You
They
just
absolutely
did
say
last year.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Just said that. Just said that. So it is true. It is a thing. They're not going to get elected, mind you, but one of those people could eventually find their way high enough to do that. And again, I own several guns, but man, is it right that
If somebody came to your door tomorrow and showed you paperwork and a law was passed and you had to turn those guns in, would you?
I would make a few calls first and be like, what the fuck? But if it's real and it's the law, yeah, I'm not going to fucking shoot somebody just because they tried to take them, because I'm not an idiot.
I'm just going to say I don't have any.
There you go. I've got one.
I have a Fourth Amendment right. Even if you don't believe in the Second Amendment, I have a Fourth Amendment right, which prevents you from illegal
you don't
search
have to
and
turn
seizure.
over. Yeah,
Illegal search
you don't
and
have to
seizure,
turn
you
over
can't
what's
come-
registered.
Yeah. Well,
And if I have guns that
it's
are
nothing.
unregistered,
They're not.
which I
Nothing's,
don't.
Nothing's on a registry. You have to purchase it through an FFL and fill out the 4473. And only recently have those gone into an electronic database, but it's still just that. It's a small local database. It's not a large, huge database. So like
if you buy it in a store.
If you buy it in a store, to collect the information from that database, you have to go back to that store.
Right.
It's saved locally.
If you buy it privately,
you don't have to do
that information doesn't exist.
Yep.
And that's kind of where I agree that availability is a problem. Private sales are obviously a thing. You can call it black market if you want. It's not. It's just private sale.
Yeah, and
there's gun auctions
probably,
and there's private sales. Availability is huge.
I probably agree a little bit on that one, because you think I'll take it back to just the possession of other things like a vehicle. Like I can't just give you a vehicle. I have to sign documentation, hand it over to you. Now, granted, that's a little bit different because you have to license it and insurance and whatever. But there's regulations around that. But that's also proof of ownership. That way, you can use that as collateral if it's a worthy car for a loan or whatever. There's arguments for that. I don't know if I'm 100% in agreement with it. It's probably something I should educate myself more on why it's right or why it's wrong. I guess I'm a little on the fence, but I'm leaning towards, if I want to do a private sale with you because you had a really cool gun that I wanted and you wanted me to fill out a form for it, I'd fill it out. I don't give a shit. I got nothing to hide. It wouldn't offend me. It wouldn't bother me.
Well, no, it's not about that. It's if you look at it like this, private sales got to be popular. Facebook groups actually popped up.
Yep.
Specifically for guns, just like automobiles. Facebook got rid of all those because no, we can't do that. And obviously, like gun tutorials,
bought a
stuff
couple
like that.
and traded a couple on there myself, but
see,
back in the day,
there you go. So the availability is obviously not a problem. Like YouTube's wiping, gun cleaning, this and that, gun ownership protocol 101, trying to get rid of that. But private sales still happen with or without social media. Gun auctions still take place. And you can argue that you have to have, a specific set of requirements to purchase a gun at a gun auction, or you can send your buddy in that has that requirements and they can hand it to you, a felon, if you are, and you can still legally obtain that weapon. Now, in this area where gun auctions happen pretty frequently, you could have somebody from a more widespread population come here to this area, purchase a gun, purchase the bullets, go back to their big metropolitan area, and commit a mass shooting. That could happen. That probably has happened, and it is a scary fucking thing to think about. And that's why I am a gun owner and I want to keep my guns and I don't want anybody to take them and I want my rights. But not everybody should have the same set of rights as I do. And that's where the gun law and the gun restrictions come into play. I'd be fine with a waiting period. I'd be fine with a background check because I'm going to pass.
Right.
Hopefully.
And I don't know. It's kind of, I see your side of it where you're not willing to wait. But one thing you said that I guess I need more context from you, because you said, not everybody should have the same rights as you. And I guess I would disagree with that unless they did something that.
Exactly. No, exactly. If they've done something. Yeah. Because, a felon can't own a gun. That's fine.
Okay, so then that felon can't come to that gun show or auction that you were speaking of, because they would never receive one.
Or they can send their buddy in who's a perfectly honorable citizen in the
and then that honorable citizen will go down for it.
After the fact.
Yeah. Everything's reactionary in our world. Everything's reactionary in our world. It's
about prevention. Yeah, but it's about prevention. It's not about reaction. It's about prevention. That's the entire argument. Making it harder for people who shouldn't obtain weapons from obtaining them. That's what it's about. And I'm all for that. That's fine with me. If we can slow down even slow down the mass shootings, that's fine. Gun violence is a problem. But the data and the numbers and the facts that people try to throw out, they try to lump it all in with, they try to lump it all in with mass shootings. That's not the problem. That is a problem.
In this country right now, they define a mass shooting as what? Two or more people killed in one instance?
Right. And obviously one's a problem.
And they
50 is a real big fucking problem.
They also lump in murder-suicides with that as two or more people as a mass shooting. They include gang violence. There's so many.
There you go.
It's ridiculous on when you actually look at, two or more people dying from guns is terrible, whatever. But an actual mass shooting, like when you say mass, it's big. There's a lot. It's actually really rare. But that's not a narrative that fits the agenda that we're trying to push, and it doesn't scare people when you tell them the real facts and the real numbers that how little this happens. It's just when it does happen, it is so overhyped and so over talked about, and then you get, don't call him a crisis actor, but you get these pretty little kids on there that will go on these circuits and run around and lecture adults and tell us what we should do for their future.
But
hey, wait your fucking turn, kid. How about you turn, the right age to vote, get somebody into office that you would like, just like I fucking had to do, because I didn't have a camera in my fucking face when I was a kid, and I didn't like how shit was. So sit the fuck down and wait your turn, kid. Sorry, I feel for them, that all of them that are going through these things, and God forbid if I ever have to be a part of a school shooting or one of these massacres. That was probably really insensitive of me to say that, but at the same time, that's how I feel at a certain point, because I know that's not the real opinions. More than likely, it's probably a narrative shoved down their throat, and they're enjoying the attention, and so they keep going with it.
But then the immediate reaction to what you just said is, well, you're just trying to downplay a mass shooting because, the numbers aren't high enough for you. So you obviously promote death and don't think it's a bad thing.
And then I would respond, quit being a dick. Let's talk.
There you go. But there is no talk. It's all about being a dick. It's all about outrage.
I'm right.
Let's be frank. But let's be frank. If we're going to be outraged about something, do we really need to be outraged about what the president tweeted? Or would it be more constructive to be outraged when people are dying that don't need to be dying? I'm fine with that. But if you want to discuss it online, you need to settle the fuck down and actually have a conversation and actually look at it from a bigger picture. I'm not trying to defend fucking people who shouldn't obtaining weapons and doing bad things with them. But holy shit, there are so many things about this country that are unique to those situations that nobody wants to think about. Like, we are a free country in a lot of areas where a lot of places that people bring up facts. Yeah, we have the most. We absolutely do, because we are such a unique circumstance. And we have so many different cultures in this country. And that was my thing. Maybe it's not just a mental illness problem. It's a cultural problem, because state by state by state by state, we have so many different populations and cultures and accents, for God's sake. It's a different world on one side of this country to the other.
Oh, just state to state, it's a different world. At one end of the state to the other end of the state's a different world in most places you go to.
Exactly.
But that's why we had this originally, this country set up with states' rights, and the federal government was only supposed to regulate the things that the states couldn't figure out. And that's why, right now, that's where there's no intervention from the federal government on this whole marijuana thing, because that's how it should be. You should have states that say, hey, most of our citizens want this and they voted it in. Whatever you say, federal government, we don't care, because this is what we want to do. We are our own sovereign state. A state is a nation. Most countries across the world call themselves states. We are the United States, which would be United Countries of America. That's the thought that we're under. But we all follow
and
under
you
the
can't compare
federal.
this country to fucking Norway because of shit like that.
Right. So we are technically 50 countries that all follow one federal government. It's very unique in that aspect, because then we break that state government down into counties, and then it just keeps kind of going down from there. But the idea is they should all be able to govern themselves and have their own laws, and be able to let the federal government go, across state lines. What are the regulations across state lines? It's bad actors in the past that have created a large government because they find loopholes and fuck things over, and made our government as big as possible with, illegal trade issues across state. And then even the gun debate. Some states, in Nebraska, I can go into a store. If I pass my background check today, I can walk out with that gun in probably an hour. I still have to fill out all that paperwork and do everything, and have them, they do the next check and call FBI and all that, make sure I'm not a terrorist and all that. But I can walk out with a rifle or a shotgun that day. However, what is it? Is it Colorado that has a 3-day wait?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is. So a neighboring state, I have to wait 3 days. Now, that's where the federal government stepped in and said, oh, Colorado, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Colorado, fuck off. It is what it is. Maybe it's not you. Maybe yours is fine. But for this example, if you're Colorado and you come to Nebraska to buy a gun, because you have a Colorado ID, Nebraska has to make you wait 3 days. That's the federal government.
That's good.
That's the federal government saying, hey, we have to abide by each other's rules when you cross state lines.
Yes.
That's what they're there for.
If you feel strongly enough about an issue, you are more than welcome to move to another state. Yeah. There are no restrictions there. You can do it. If you want to be in a state with legal weed, you can move over to Colorado, and nobody is going to fucking stop you.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
When I started this job, I moved to South Dakota, and then my territory expanded into Minnesota. And because my home was closer to this one particular store than another store, they wanted me to technically live in Minnesota, even though my residence was in South Dakota. They wanted me to pay Minnesota state tax, which is 8%. It's like in the top 15 of the country. And my state income tax in South Dakota is 0, bitch. That's why I was like, hell yeah. I'm not going to benefit from paying an 8% tax in Minnesota. So I had to raise holy hell. And it took me a while, but that's what it's there for. Like, you got to fight for some of those things. I don't know what that had to do
your
with
state by state rights and your individual rights. That's kind of what it all boils down to. And hey, like it or not, you know what? We do have a problem in this country. And obviously this is just a scratch at the surface, because this is a fucking epidemic. Let's be frank.
Shit too. So.
Well, there's that. And let me jump back on the other side of the fence.
We're talking about. That's the beauty of it.
No. And I don't own that many fucking guns, but I own enough to be like, I'd be sad if, gun auctions went away and private sales were made, black market illegal, throw you in jail, bad, holy shit. But man, I'd like to see a real solution. And that's the thing that you see on either side of the debate. Like, nobody has a solution, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, because there's so many intricacies to this problem. And it's not going to go away. That's the unfortunate truth. It's not going to go away until a big pin drops, and something is going to drop eventually, one way or the other. We're going to either get an open.
I think the best analogy I heard this week was, if we're really living in a simulation, there's a fucking comedian writing this goddamn script, because this shit is weird.
No, if there's a simulation, we're in the midst of a reset being hit, because we're going to get thinned out crazy. Like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is.
Shit's fucking out.
Like, we eat each other alive. That's what I said the other day. I'm like, that's the problem. Like, culturally, we just eat each other alive. It's not just mental health that's at fault here for these mass shootings. It's race, religion, sexism, homophobia,
anything.
So many things at play. Everything. Anything can set somebody off to commit a hateful act on a mass shooting scale. So we're in a culture availability.
We're in a
Maybe
culture
availability is too much.
We're in the culture of availability of hurt feelings, and pick and choose whichever fucking one you want. That's what it is.
And I will fight this argument to the fucking death, because hey, guns are bad for killing a lot of people very easily, right? Well, you know what? I can get on YouTube right now, learn how to make a fucking bomb and set it off. I can do that right now.
Yeah.
It's that simple. YouTube's going to ban us from, doing political stuff or ads, but
or saying the whistleblower's
they're not going to ban
name.
people from, for saying the whistleblower's name, but they're not going to ban people from showing you how to make a fucking bomb. That's on there. You can go on there and find that right now and harm a lot of people like that.
Yep.
So is it an availability problem, or is it a hate problem, a culture problem, and an upbringing problem? Because I think that's where the fucking problem is.
Yeah. God, man. This has been a dark episode.
I know. We've covered a lot of shit. Let's get on a happy topic. Jesus Christ.
So I took your advice. I watched some of that AEW. You want
okay, well then on that note, here, let me share this meme real quick, because we mentioned meme lords earlier, and this is a wrestling meme. So
all right.
We have it.
Oh, yes.
For those of you listening, this is a caption that says, "How I enter the timeline, ready to share 87 memes in 3 minutes." And it's a picture of the bad guy, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, wearing his white suit, gold chain, and the Intercontinental title, because he is a fucking badass. Anyway, go ahead.
So with that in mind, that's my era of wrestling.
Yes, and the greatest wrestling era of all time.
It was the greatest era. So I
guess that's the era we grew up with.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It was a era of Cornhuskers winning every game, the Bulls and Michael Jordan winning every game, the Cowboys and Emmitt Smith winning every game.
Right.
Yeah. It was the domination. Oh.
There were so many dominations. And
then the
nation of domination.
The NWO, brother.
Right. Scott fucking Hall. Yeah, there you have it.
Anyway, so
simpler times.
So I turn on the AEW, and I'm pretty sure it started off with a kind of a strange tag match. A bunch of people I didn't know.
Oh no, I've actually got the card up here. Which one are you talking? Because I didn't watch the.
I didn't get to watch
one before
all
the year
of the
ended.
newest one. I watched the one before it all the way through. The newest one I only got like halfway through.
Okay, and see the one I just watched the newest one all the way through, and I only caught bits and pieces of the one before that. The ending was the big one, but go ahead. I'll let you go.
So it starts out with a tag match. It seemed poorly rehearsed. It seemed like something it would have been like me and you against Phil in cricket. Like it just it was rough.
Who was in it?
It was rough.
Do you have a name on who was in this match?
No, I don't have any notes with me. I'm just
Okay.
I'm
all
just
right.
kind of talking through and bullshitting a little bit.
Okay, so let me see if I can pull up.
You're gonna find the fight card because this is important because apparently we're gonna have a bunch.
Well, because I listen to review. If I miss the show and I don't get time to watch it, Jim Cornette does his weekly review of the show and just shits all over 90% of it, which is great. It's fucking hilarious because he says the shit that the fucking internet fanboys are way too afraid to say. So yeah, like if they'll do something fucking stupid and he'll call them out on it, and then they'll shit on him. And he's like, I don't fucking care. I'll say it again. I'll say it worse this time. Nice. And it's what it deserves.
That was a December 23rd fight card.
All right, so 23rd. Was it the fucking Lucha Bros versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page?
I bet so.
Okay, yeah, two luchadors, mask wearing dudes versus two guys with kind of dirty blonde hair. That'd be what it was.
Yeah, hold on. I actually got it pulled up here so I can have a better idea what I was looking at. Yes, this was definitely it.
Okay, I missed this match, and I'm fine with it because oh boy, I have problems with all four guys, but I'll let you talk about it.
So yeah, overall, it wasn't very entertaining. There was a few. There's a few good moves. It's the fact that you don't know some of these guys. Now the story they're trying to tell are the two non-Lucha Libre guys, the two white dudes in there. They had a previous tag fight and they weren't getting along. And so they're like kept setting it up through this whole thing. Like they didn't get along on their last fight, but they won, but they weren't getting along, and they both wanted to get the pinfall, but we'll see how tonight goes. And that's all they kept talking about through this whole damn thing. Meanwhile, the two Lucha Libre guys are actually like doing stuff in the match that were, entertaining. And you could see they're trying to make this match work. The other two guys kind of just lazily, I don't know. It just didn't mesh. You got two guys that can run fast, high flying, do all these crazy moves and all these crazy kicks. And then you got two stiff white dudes that just try to look tough. and it looks like the two white dudes that are trying to look tough are going to win this thing, and they're getting along and they're working well together. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, one of them's going to accidentally fuck this up for the other one. I thought about 5 minutes in when I heard him say it the fifth time that they didn't get along last week. They didn't get along. And when I heard it the fifth time, I'm like, one of them's going to accidentally fuck this one up, so they're not going to get along anymore. So about 5 more minutes goes by, and sure as shit, one of them accidentally hits the other guy. Oh, called it. So storytelling was just, I don't know, it was lazy.
Piss poor.
It was lazy.
Okay.
So wasn't
let me
impressed.
fill in the blanks there. I'll fill in the blanks a little bit. Congratulations. That was your first introduction to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, for those of you who don't know, was basically the American, excuse me, not American, he's fucking Canadian. The white guy star of New Japan Pro Wrestling for years. Like, this dude was Japan Wrestling for years. He was the face of it. He had all the, break the 5-star scale matches, 6-star matches, 7-star matches, yada, yada, yada. He and a few other guys obviously started AEW here in the States. And he has not booked himself as a strong wrestler. He's got the mindset of, I'm such a big star, I can let all these other guys beat me, and they'll get over too. Problem is, nobody fucking, like, half the people watching don't fucking know who the fuck he is. So no, that's not a smart way to go about it. He needs to actually book himself strongly, then he can put people over. The other guy is a guy I've just been introduced to since this started, Hangman Adam Page. I don't know a lot about him. He's decent. but they don't put a mic in front of him and let him talk enough. So nobody knows him. Nobody feels invested in him. Like he's just there. Like the crowd's over with him just because they have to be. And the other two guys, the Lucha Bros, Pentagon and Phoenix. Oh, conflicted on them because they are one of the better tag teams in wrestling right now. But they are luchadors. So while watching that match, let me ask you, how many times did you actually fucking know who the legal man in that match was?
With any tag team match, I it's usually pretty tough. There was actually, now that you mention it, it wasn't that one, but it was the next tag match. I remember the ref fucked up, and because it was Cody Rhodes and the dude that wants to be Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
The Cody Darby, whatever. But anyway, so in that match, Cody Rhodes, I think, goes for a pin, and the ref refuses to go over and count and says, "There was no tag. You're not the legal man." And so Cody Rhodes gets all pissed off, and then his partner Darby goes behind the ropes, and there was never a tag, and Cody Rhodes stays in the match. I was fucking confused. I'm like, the ref says there was no tag, but then they let you be the legal man, but they wouldn't count on a pinfall. What the fuck just happened? Like,
it's every week though with this. It's nobody. Tag team wrestling is an
was
art
it the ref trying to troll
itself.
him and call it out and tell him, "Hey,
no,
you guys got to figure this shit out because I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore."
No, that's the problem. Like the ref and the teams in the ring are all it's all supposed to be, a joint effort. Plus the guy in the ref's here behind the curtain telling him when to go home, telling him when to go to this spot, telling him when to do this, telling them when they're at commercial break. It's all based on communication, and so far they've done an absolute dreadful job of doing anything communicative to make a match flow properly. Their tag team division has been it's 90% flips, dives, and cooperative spots where you can clearly tell the guy fighting the other guy is
and
helping this
over.
guy.
They like scoot over 5 feet real quick. Oh no, they're gonna jump off the rope and land on me. I gotta get in the right spot.
Yeah. They make it blatantly obvious that it's a cooperative thing. In the 70s, people really thought these people were trying to beat the shit out of each other, even in tag matches. Now you've got guys doing Cirque du Soleil shit where if I don't move over, hold him up with both hands and help him get on the top rope, this next spot's not going to work. It's basically glorified floor gymnastics.
Yeah, it's choreography
and
it's this dance. They're just dancers.
Yeah, it's a dance. It's a fucking dance. It's not a fight. It's not a fight at all. And I'll say, I like Cody Rhodes a lot, and Darby Allin's kind of won me over a bit. I can see the potential there. They're better as singles guys, obviously. They had a match on the following week, but I didn't see this match. I'm glad I did, and I wasn't interested enough to care about it because the other team they were wrestling, that was a shitty debut.
They brought in the Butcher and the Blade, and even the ringside announcers really didn't know who the fuck these guys were, and they were pretty open to it.
No.
Then they come out with this one weird chick, like she's a cat lady or something. I don't know.
A bunny.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She tried to interfere in the match one time. The Butcher and the Blade tried to act like the big badass dudes. The problem, and this is where I seen, is so like the whole setup for this one is if Cody and Darby win this match, then they get to fight each other. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Whatever. Like, I'm just, and then
even though Cody's the fucking executive VP and could pretty much make any match he wants.
He did.
Yeah.
He did make the match he wanted.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing that started bothering me at about this point of it was the cuts in between, like where they're trying to build other stories. None of them made any fucking sense. And the audio was so bad, it's like they were streaming live from a fucking phone half the time. And then all of a sudden the audio would cut in and you're like, what the fuck was the first half of that? What the hell are they talking about now? Like, you didn't understand the first 2 sentences of the questioning, and then all of a sudden you get this big old fat dude going, I'm gonna go over there and kick it, and like, what are you talking about? Like,
oh man,
it was terrible.
This is great. This is what's great, because this is why I wanted you to do this, because I want to get somebody who doesn't watch. I want to get their input, because that's been one of the big gripes, is the audio has been just god awful.
The production value is
now.
shit.
Yeah, they're just figuring the production out, but the audio specifically has been really fucking bad the last few weeks. I don't know what's going on there, but the storytelling is piss poor. Here's the thing. If you want to learn more about the storylines, you are required to not just watch this episode, but you have to go onto YouTube and watch AEW Dark on like Tuesday nights, which is from the week before, but you're watching it the night before the new episode, whatever. Plus, there's a YouTube channel for the guys that are considered the elite, which is Cody, Hangman, Omega, and the Bucks, and they have all their storylines on there and what they're doing. So you've got to jump around and do all this extra shit so you can actually follow what you're seeing on TV. So if you're channel surfing like you would be, how the fuck do you know what's going on?
Right.
Do you?
Nope. Didn't care. So we went 2 atrocious tag team matches. I was not impressed with either of them. I was never a big fan of tag team, and it sounds like this AEW really, really goes after tag team. So whatever.
They try hard to make tag team wrestling matter, and they're swinging and missing on a lot of key points about it.
Whiffed. Then they do a girl match. Oh God.
Yeah, hit me with that. What are your thoughts here? It
God.
looks like Awesome Kong beat up a local.
Yeah. So, oh my God, this Awesome Kong. It wasn't even fun to watch. It was just like, what? Like, what are you doing? It was just some little girl just getting thrown around by this big old chick. Like, and then there was the Chris Statlander and Britt the Dr. Baker. I was like, what the fuck? So Chris Statlander, honestly, when she first came out, I thought it was a dude. Not trying to sound insensitive, but like she's got this weird tattoo on his chest that looks like chest hair. Like it really does. It looks like chest hair, and I was like, does that chick have chest hair? What the fuck's going on there? And then she's got like duct tape around her neck, so it looks like she's like trying to hide an Adam's apple. I was like,
oh God.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But the wrestling was terrible.
She's an alien.
Oh my God. Oh, is that why she was like touching, like just poking noses? Because that was weird. Like, I was like, does she got? I go, is she got like a funny gimmick where she just fucks with people? Because like they were like running into each other, and she would like do this little like boop and touch her on the nose.
No, the whole premise of AEW was they're going to be an alternative to WWE, and they're not going to do much of goofy bullshit. So here's a chick that says she's an alien.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that's her gimmick. Awesome Kong is she's a pretty storied veteran. She's in the twilight of her career. Like this is her final run. She's been in the business for a long time. I've followed her in TNA for a long time. When TNA was
so her better days are behind her.
Clearly, yeah, way fucking beyond gone. But no, she's in the latter days of her run, and she's mostly a name at this point. So just having her squash one of the local talents it made sense. That's fine. I don't mind a squash match once in a while, but the whole pairing of her and Brandy Rhodes being really fucking weird is not working. I don't know what they did here. I missed this part, but they've been like cutting girls' hairs off and like putting it. I don't know. It's weird as shit. It's not getting over with anybody. Yeah, it's weird as shit. Yeah. And I'm sure it just drew you in like that. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing, compelling, right?
I'm like, oh, no way. That big old chick beat up that little girl. Shocker.
Yeah. Oh, shocker. Yep. Okay.
Then
next
they had actually a decent tag team match, but it was for the tag team championship. So you kind of have some expectations for it. SoCal Uncensored, is that right? And the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Wasn't terrible.
I've got my matches out of order here, I guess. But yeah, SoCal Uncensored versus the Young Bucks. I'll just preface this with SoCal's the tag champs, Chris Daniels, Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky versus the Young Bucks being two of the other executive VPs.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But then they had cuts before and after that one that totally confused me. I don't know how the Young Bucks or the SoCal Uncensored got over with the match so quickly, cleaned up, and then we're doing promo videos before Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy's main event.
So it sounds like production was a real fucking problem on this night.
And then I get introduced to Jungle Boy, which is Luke Perry's son.
Yes, that is correct. That's legitimate. He truly is Jack Perry. That's Luke Perry's son.
And he wants his name to be Jungle Boy.
Yes.
So. Oh my God.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there's a backstory with this one of Jericho.
There is. Supposedly, are they telling it?
Yeah. Oh, they wouldn't stop. So Jericho tells this kid, you couldn't last 10 minutes in the ring with me. And so they do a 10-minute timer, and Jericho beats the holy hell out of him for about 2.5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I bet the kid like does some sneaky rollovers, and this is going to, go to the last minute. And sure enough, it was just back and forth. Jericho beat the hell out of him for 2 minutes, and then he sneaks out. All of a sudden comes back to life for like 30 seconds and then gets the shit kicked out of him for another 2.5 minutes, and back and forth all the way till the end, and gets him in his finishing move. It's now the Walls of Jericho, not the Lion Tamer.
Correct.
I must have missed that at some point over the years. And so despite this kid being the size of Chris Jericho's thigh, somehow he can pull himself and Jericho after being in the Walls of Jericho, after being in it for 90 seconds, because it's so painful that his size, he can crawl across and grab the ropes. I just really?
Oh God, this is great. I'm loving this.
It was it was so stupid. I like, based on that, if that was like, if I'd never watched wrestling in my life and somebody said, you got to watch this is really good stuff, dude, turned off forever. That was terrible show. It was terrible.
There you go.
It was fucking awful. Go. There was nothing to look forward to. The announcers aren't that funny. Who'd they have on there with the mask?
Oh my God.
What's his name? I remember him.
His name's Excalibur.
Yes, I remember him.
No, you don't. He's a fucking nobody.
He was on TNA, wasn't he?
No.
Where did he come from? I remember him from somewhere.
I don't think you do. I think you're thinking of somebody else, because he came from one of those fucking indie outlaw.
Anyway, you're an announcer. Take off your fucking mask.
Oh my God! I can't believe you said it. Oh my God! Thank you.
Oh my. And not only that, I don't know if his voice sounds weird because he's wearing a mask.
No.
Or maybe it's because he has nothing fucking interesting to say.
Well,
And
every time somebody
you can
dove
tell
out
he
of the
doesn't know
ring,
half the moves. You can tell.
every time somebody dives out of the ring, instead of saying suicide dive, he goes, Tope suicida. Yeah, that's been one of the big gripes. Nobody knows who the fuck this dude is. Nobody has explained why he wears a mask, why we should care that he wears a mask, but we keep showing him and we keep putting him on TV and he fucking sucks. Take off the mask, get the fuck off the TV. Nobody cares. He's terrible. Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and this week Taz were commentators.
Tony Schiavone, like on this whole show, he was doing like the cut scene like interviews. I'm like, why isn't he sitting down talking to these guys? Like talking about the match?
He has been.
He wasn't on this one.
And I don't know why they pulled him. I don't know why. I don't get it. Makes no sense.
It's terrible.
Obviously, Jim Ross is one of the best commentators.
Oh, Jim Ross.
History,
it's Jim Ross is one of those voices you hear. You're like, fuck yeah! Like I'm listening to old school stuff here. But yeah,
and even he at this point, Jim Ross at this point is like so burnt out with the fucking product. You can tell like he just like he don't even call Jungle Boy the same name twice. He's like, oh, Jack Jungle this time or Jack Jungle Boy.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
He just does not care.
I thought he was actually funnier than he used to be on this one, just because. Yeah, he really doesn't give a shit.
He don't care. No,
I remember him actually saying something about like, and I don't know much about this fella. He calls himself this or this. I don't know. Let's see if he's got anything. Like, it's like
pretty much.
He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm getting paid.
Now, was this okay? Was this the episode at the end where a bunch of weird fucks came out?
Yeah. Then it was a bunch of like guys in suits wearing masks.
Okay.
That was at the maybe that was the AEW tag team match because
okay
maybe that was the main event. I don't know, but yeah, it was after that tag team match, I think. Because then like two random dudes fucking have to put on them like that was the other thing that I'm glad you reminded me of that because it's like there's nothing but factions. Like everybody's on a fucking team, like, and there's like, there's like 5 teams because that's all you can do when you only have 50 people is 10 people per team, except for this one group's really fucking big. So you got one group that's got 3 people and that's like Jericho. And apparently he can survive with 3 people, but everybody else needs 10 to 20. And then you got all these guys wearing these weird fucking masks and suits. And you don't know who any of them are. You don't care. You don't care. They run into the ring, and all the good guys run into the ring. You know what's supposed to happen when the good guys run in the ring, including like, you know, Cody Rhodes and all of his butt buddies and everybody that wants to be cool. They all jump into the ring to fight all these inferior looking people. They really do. They look smaller, they look out of shape, they look fat, and they're wearing a mask, and half of them have a mask that's turned fucking half sideways over their face. You know they can't see anything. It's like they just jumped up and were like, oh fuck, put these on and run out there, guys, we need to save the show because that match sucked. And like,
oh god.
And so they beat up all the good guys and have 2 other good guys laying on the floor, and that was their initiation to join that group. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, God. I'm loving this because this is exactly why I wanted you to watch this, to get your take on it, because it's been said so many times. Like, somebody just channel surfing and stops on this and watches it. There's nothing here compelling enough to get you to watch again.
It was not interesting.
And everything you're saying is a mirror image of that. All the points that were made, it's a mirror fucking image. Like, you're looking at these inferior guys holding their own against guys they have no fucking shot against. So it takes you out of the element of reality.
Yeah.
And then all the stupidity. I don't care about this guy. I have no reason to care about this. It's just a bunch of random shit happening. So I'm really glad to hear that. I do have
a couple of criticisms. I've been a Jericho fan for a long, long time. The dude needs to hang it up. Like, he doesn't. His body doesn't look like it can take this for much longer. Granted, he still kind of has it. Like, he could still jump off the ropes and do some shit. And like,
Yeah, he's still doing the fucking lion salt, dude.
Yeah, he can still talk trash with the best of them. He can still do promo shots, and he was the only one that did a promo video that was worth a fuck. And that you actually were like paying attention to. He's good at that. Without him, it would be really bad.
That's why he's there. He's there because they needed to put the belt. Starting this company up, they had to put the belt on somebody that the country knew, you know, as a fan base that everybody know. Hell, worldwide, you can't put the belt on a fucking nobody and expect to be taken seriously. So they put it on Jericho, who was available and agreed to it and said, yeah, I would love to be the fucking face so you guys can build yourselves up. So that's why he's there. That's why he's the fucking face. That's why he's the champ right now. And it makes perfect sense. Is he going to have 5-star matches? Absolutely not. Since he's been in AEW, I've watched all of his matches on TV and pay-per-view. And we just watched him on Wrestle Kingdom here the other day. He is great at giving you a 3 to 3.5 star match. But that's about all you're going to get. You're not going to get a 5-star classic on a Chris
especially
Jericho
with the
in
fucking
2020.
clientele he's got to work with. Fuck.
There you go. He's also basically what he's doing.
You're
is
only as good as the
guys.
worst person in the room, man. Like,
yeah, and he's getting some of these guys over. So it is what it is. He's only there. I think I said when they started, he'll probably only be there for 2 years max, and then he's going to retire, and that's fine. By then, hopefully, they'll have made enough of a name for themselves, and they'll have created a few stars that they won't need him at that point. But from what they've been doing, man, I don't fucking know. Like, Cody is the only fucking one. I wish you could have seen fucking MJF do something and Cody do something, and because those guys are fucking straight fire. Moxley's not bad. I'm not sold on Omega or the Bucks like so many other people are, but yeah, like from what you saw there, like what the fuck, what would, out of all of it, what would actually compel you to tune in again?
none of it. Jericho's little spot.
And you
not
just
his
said
match.
he needs to hang
Not
it
his
up,
match.
and he's the only point.
Not his match. I would, even being a former Jericho fan back in the day when he was making fun of Stinko Malenko. Like, I remember that shit. It was the Y2J, and but like that was like he still got that. Like, he can really fuck with people and have some fun with it, and like that's what he's good at. That's his gig, man. He should be like the new Eric Bischoff of this place when he's done with wrestling. Like,
what Chris Jericho has done over the last like 10 years is pretty fucking impressive. He's reinvented himself so many times. Like, the tail end of his WWE run was so fucking funny. He was so damn good in his role. He was getting guys over left and right. He's so good on the microphone. And they'd put him in these multi-man matches where he would come in, he'd be the general of the ring, he would direct traffic, he'd get his spots in, but it was about the other guys, and he knew that. And during the promos, he'd do his shtick. He'd bury himself on purpose. It was so fucking good. And then he left WWE. He went to New Japan, and he did put out a pretty fucking amazing match or two there, reinvented himself. And then when AEW started up, he's like, okay, I'll be your champion. You know, I'll come in, I'll do that because you need a name. And I'm the top name that's available. So yeah, I'll fucking do that. And he did, and he's doing that. But yeah, like you said, his matches aren't classics anymore, and they're not gonna be, because yeah, his body's given up on him like all wrestlers' bodies do. But if you can get that much
literally
value,
looks like Mickey Rourke's body on the movie The Wrestler at this point.
Exactly. Yes, it's terrifying.
It is.
Yeah, but he's a name, and he's getting them over. And hopefully by the time he hangs it up, they've at least created a couple of stars. But so far from what you've seen, did anybody get over? Or it was just a clusterfuck?
It was a clusterfuck. The whole thing was a clusterfuck.
So there you have it. So that was your introduction to AEW.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for that.
I don't know what else to say about it, man. It's not great. I try to follow it as much as I can, but I can only take so much on a week to week basis. Like I watch Raw, I watch SmackDown, I try to watch that. Fuck, there's so much wrestling. There's so much.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
I can't. I don't. Yeah. Can't let that shit consume your life. That's too much of it.
I just woke up at 2 a.m. on fucking Saturday morning to go watch Wrestle Kingdom.
Ugh. Did you get to read this story I sent you, Tony? We'll move on
Which
from
one?
wrestling. The Trump sign in the guy's yard.
Oh, it's beautiful. Just fucking beautiful.
Did you read the story though?
No, I just saw the headline actually.
So
what do we got here?
I'll give you a brief run through. You can do a search for this on news, just Trump yard sign. Do a search for that in Google and click the little news tab. And this is like one of the first ones that pop up. So essentially what happened is this homeowner lives in a kind of a pretentious neighborhood, and none of them are Trump fans. He himself is not a Trump fan. And for his, I think it was his birthday or something, one of his buddies decided that they were going to mess with him. And so they got him this 4 foot by 8 foot Trump Pence sign and stuck it in his yard. And being a good sport, he's like, oh, what the hell? I suppose I'll leave it in my yard. He's like, I'll leave it there for like a week or so, and then I'll tear it down. So within that week's time frame, like his neighbors were giving him shit, and then somebody came and actually graffitied the sign. So it pissed him off. And he's like, I wanted to keep it up. I don't even like Trump, but I wanted to keep it up because I thought the whole sign was funny because it was pissing my neighbors off. He's like, you can't tell me what I can and can't have in my yard. And he started getting really defensive about this. So he put it on 2 posts, put it 15 feet up in the air. So you got this 4 foot by 8 foot sign that's sitting 15 feet up in the air like a fucking McDonald's arc saying Trump Pence. And so nobody can reach it. You can't really do anything about it. So they called the city like assessor or something, or whoever does the zoning, and then called him in for a violation of that because it's against the zoning regulations of the city. And so then they come over and tell him, hey, you're in violation of city code when it comes to the zoning laws. Your sign can't be that high up. It can only be a maximum of like 6 feet. And he goes, well, like, do you like normally enforce these? And they're like, no, we only like investigate and enforce the ones that people call in. He goes, oh, because it's a Trump sign that got called in, and you're only enforcing it because it's a Trump sign that got called in. Yeah,
yes.
and yeah. So yeah, he's fighting it, and so his argument was, if you would do a better job with our tax dollars of policing our city, it wouldn't have got spray painted, and I would have had it taken down a long time ago because, like, it was just a joke. I didn't even want to have it up that long. I was just, keeping it up. Maybe it was a bet or something. I can't remember, but he had a timeline. It was only going to be 1 week. And then somebody had to fuck with him. If somebody had to fuck with him. And so it pissed him off. And he's fighting it just out of principle. I love this guy. Good for him.
So this pretty much mirrors my loyalty to Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I've never been a huge Trump supporter. But the people who piss and moan about him constantly and accuse me of being a Trumper because I say something that doesn't quite 100% agree with them.
Oh, no, that doesn't mean you're a Trump supporter. That means you're a Russian troll. You're a Russian asset.
Whatever.
Sorry, you're a Russian asset.
Really, either way, I became more of a fucking Trumper when they started accusing me of being it, because I'm like, fuck you. You're wrong. And yeah, just because this shit offends you, I'm starting to fucking feel sympathy for this guy. What the fuck? Just shut the fuck up. Stop being so goddamn offended.
They put you in that corner.
Shit like this. Ugh. Yeah. God, people are stupid. That's fucking great, though. Yeah, good for this guy. It's not about who you fucking back. It's about your own personal property and beliefs. My God. All right.
And
I got this.
hold
What do
on.
you got?
Right here. This is
God.
the final one. So for those just listening in, photos of Jeffrey
God.
Epstein coming out. So Tony, did you get to see this, the update?
I waited. I was waiting for this. Go ahead.
So this is the noose that he strangled himself with. Now pay attention. It's kind of wound up cloth, right? Okay.
What the fuck is it tied to?
Supposedly that was tied to his bedpost.
Doesn't look like it.
He's got a lot of these orange things in his room, apparently.
What the fuck? No, those are all in his cell.
Apparently.
That's his cell.
Here's my favorite part. Look, here's a CPAP
He's
machine.
got a laundry room in his cell and nobody noticed.
Right. Here's a CPAP machine because he had sleep apnea, which has an electric cord and an extension cord that actually goes outside the room. That would have been a little bit easier to kill yourself with.
What the fuck?
Hold on. There's some graphic pictures coming up, folks, that are just watching. So I will say that now before we get to him. Here's the note he left with a ballpoint pen left next to it. First off,
what?
Like, this is just whatever. So it says something along the lines as somebody's name kept me in a locked shower for an hour. And then somebody burnt my sent me burnt food, and then giant bugs crawling on my hands. No fun is what this note's supposed to say. Terrible handwriting. Don't understand why he would write it like that. If he's just taking notes of like things that are pissing him off today, I don't understand. But then having a ballpoint pen with a guy that just tried to kill himself a week prior to that doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense.
No.
Moving on.
No. What the fuck?
Oh, you bastards. You're not going to show it on here because you're fucking CNN fake news. Hold on. I will get it.
Oh, boy.
Let's see. Images. Here we go. So here are some of the more graphic images. So that's the actual picture of the choke mark on his neck.
Mm.
Does that look like it came from that sheet?
Maybe if it was... No, not really.
Kind of looks like a wire.
It'd have to be twisted really fucking tightly. Because, yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty sketch, yo.
I don't know. No, it doesn't look legitimate. It doesn't, but...
He's got...
Could you think if they tried to frame it one way?
Supposedly bruising around the backside. Is that actually his?
God, you would fucking hope if they tried to kill him, if they killed him, you at least do it with the weapon you say you did it with.
Yep. And then they found he had pills.
Why?
He had pills in his room.
For what?
I don't know. I don't know what they are.
But he's allowed to have pills, and he's allowed to have 100 different jumpsuits to make a noose and a ballpoint pen, and the cameras disappeared. And what the fuck? How does anybody actually believe this shit?
Yep. So yeah, you can.
My God. Wow.
Think on that one for a while, because.
There's not a lot to think about. He didn't fucking do it.
Nope.
Do we care that he's dead? Fuck no. He's a piece of shit. Needed to be dead.
I just want to know who killed him.
Yeah, I mean, we do. Wink.
Wink, wink.
All right. So let me. We're going dark again.
Oh,
let me
God.
Bust this out. I want to.
Put your
No,
dick
we're
away.
gonna go fun
Don't
this
you
time.
do it. Put
Yeah,
your dick away.
No, we're gonna be good here. I'm gonna bust
You
out
said
some
you're
fun
getting
here
dark.
because me taking my pants off is dark.
Well,
It's as white as it gets, dude.
yeah.
All right, so
I'm not doing it.
All right, so we tried to show you some highlights of an MMA fight last time, and Fedor versus Rampage, and that didn't fucking happen.
That's partially why my videos kept getting taken down. Yeah, didn't help. I did the OK symbol in the first like 10 seconds either.
So we're gonna watch this shit because I sent this to you, and this is a fun fight. It's just as entertaining. But here you go, folks.
Represent the DMV. Thank you for having me, and I'm gonna do what it do.
My name is Jacob. I'm ready for my second fight. Hopefully, I end up 2-0 in the yard. Be a fun day.
Shout out, private internet access. Do not let your past haunt you. Street Beefs, back with an MMA match. In this corner, got a newcomer, the Nighttime Guru. He's 0-0 in Satan's backyard. And in this corner, we got Beach. Y'all remember this kid from his war with Turk.
Nighttime Guru.
No quitting. Be safe, fellas. Fight hard.
Any fighters come in? Whatever the rules before the match, understandable. Understandable. Just need all times in the ring, have a good, clean fight. All right, let's go and back up. You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
Ooh, got his back. Just like that. Make it going in. He's got those leg hooks in. Got a triangle. Hold them tight. And that's all she wrote.
What the fuck is happening? Oh boy! I'm never. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. Come over here.
You don't need to do that. Winner. Good job, brother. Good job.
So there we have it.
Some amateur
Beach.
backyard MMA fights. That's pretty bitchin'.
Beach defeats the Nighttime Guru.
Nighttime Guru. Jesus.
So I don't think that these street brawl guys are going to have a problem with us showing their video on our podcast, like
No.
YouTube and Facebook.
I don't think so.
No, and so it's funny to me. Like I come across this by fucking accident, but yeah, I thought it was hilarious because now we don't have backyard wrestling; we have fucking backyard MMA, and those are the future stars of MMA. Like, tell me, one of those two fucking guys isn't going to be in like Bellator someday,
right? Yeah, you never know. Somebody they have a bunch of those fights, so I imagine somebody on there will make it eventually. That's
hell yeah.
There's been a few of those that come up over the years. We didn't get to touch on Deadpool, but I guess nobody on anybody's list has died yet. So technically, you can still put it in entry until somebody gets a point.
Yeah,
like I don't.
Yeah, we need more people to fucking play. I don't know how many entries we got, but we need as many as we can get. We're gonna make this fun. Damn it.
Yeah, nobody had Soleimani, and nobody had that. Nobody had that NBA dude. I can't even remember. I don't know much about NBA. I just knew some famous guy from NBA died.
Yeah. No, that's like it so far. So
yeah. Meanwhile, there's an $80 million or price tag on Donald Trump's head. So you can put that on your list, I guess. You never know. I don't know. Crazier shit's happening.
True.
Could find a shirt.
Not really. No, I'm not banking on that. God.
Yeah. So yeah, recapping tonight. I suck at college football picks still. New Year's resolution, we probably will fail. Hopefully you don't give up yet. You can do this.
No, nobody should give up because we suck.
Right. Let's see. Pro wrestling, I'm not into it yet. You have to find one that gets me pulled back in one of these days, T, because
maybe
AEW is not going to do
just
it.
give you my fucking login info so you can watch the Royal Rumble. So maybe you can see me and Phil in the crowd.
There you go. There you go. Otherwise,
Yeah, you can review that because that'll be a damn good show.
Well, there you go. Maybe I'll do that.
There.
We're all gonna die. With
Well, yeah.
I ran.
You mean sooner?
Oh yeah. Keep your eye on the news. A lot coming there. You got some homework to do with the Virginia governor, and looking into the gun laws there. We'll discuss that more next week. And
we discussed that a lot tonight.
We talked about a lot of shit.
Yeah, we did. Every
news story went down another rabbit hole. We need to get structure on this show. You know that?
There's our resolution. Let's get some fucking structure.
Oh God, we need to make like segments because I don't know how long this thing turned into, but it's fucking long.
It's long.
Yeah.
This is a long one.
Good thing I don't have a lot of editing though. Neither of us got drunk and did anything crazy, so we're both drinking.
I start whipping my dick out.
We're both drinking little Scotch whiskeys, and we didn't get that hammered. So
how do you like that?
I like it. I will give a Monkey Shoulder. This is batch 27, smooth and rich blended malt Scotch whiskey. Let's see. It is 43% alcohol by volume, but it's actually pretty smooth.
That's why a couple little drops of water are good for it because it's needed. Just dolt down a little bit.
I am rather fond of the three little monkeys that are like, it's actually like a little piece of metal. They like have the three pieces of metal kind of like melted into the glass there. It's kind of cool.
Right. Yeah, it's a really nice bottle. I like the
nice bottle. I think that's what sold me was the bottle, and even on the bottom, like the monkeys are engraved in. On the cork, the monkeys are engraved in. So yeah, I don't know. You got some kudos for design. The label's pretty, I don't know, pretty generic, but
it's a unique name.
Yeah, and it's not too dark. Like you get some of those malt Scotch whiskeys and they get so dark. You're like, there's something wrong with that.
Or Bushmill Red Bush. See? Those are my top two Irish whiskeys that I
reviewed it. There you have it. Behind Phil there. You can clearly see and there he is holding
the three monkeys over his shoulder. Yeah.
There's a little thing at the end.
There you go. Everybody, look it up. If you want to check out the thoughts on the monkey shoulder.
Shout out to Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Check the little ticker up above. Jump over there. Check out the videos. Like, share, subscribe to his page there, as well as the Dog and Chicken Show, as always.
Indeed.
Anything else you want to cover tonight?
God, do we have to?
No, we don't. It's pushing 1 a.m, dude. I got work in the morning.
I know. Yeah, we should probably wrap it up.
We probably should.
That's what she said.
Yes, and then I didn't.
Brought it full circle. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You said you asked me to say it earlier. I brought it full circle.
Aww. Make me feel better. Good stuff. All right, so next week we're gonna dive a little deeper into the gun debate. We'll try to structure this a little bit more. Maybe not have so many topics. I don't know. Tonight there was so many to touch on. This has been a busy fucking week. We took a long
break between recordings, so we had to touch on a lot of shit.
Busy. We've killed so many people, and and more
unfortunately
Epstein
nobody
info.
on Deadpool lists.
Yeah, like it's just there's just too much. Ricky Gervais happened. There's too much to talk about. We had to. I don't know, Tony. Are you still down with our February thoughts?
Oh, yeah, now I got my Fitbit. I can jump into one of these challenges. I'm actually on whatever it is on Diet Bet app. I signed on that because my wife did, and I had to do it. And I've been sucking ass so far. So February might be my big month.
So February, the reason I wanted to go with that one is, first off, if we're going to do a month of sobriety and exercise and diet challenge, it better be the shortest fucking month of the year, first off.
Right. Yeah.
So, and granted, it's a leap year, so I guess it's only a day shorter than most other months, but
yeah, it's still 29, I think.
Yeah, but at least nobody else picks February, so we'll be unique in that aspect. But we're allowed one cheat day on.
You send me what you want to do for the parameters on this. What do you got in mind?
We'll have to see. We'll have to sync up and see what our Fitbits can share. And we should have by now some good daily averages, so we know what a average day in our docile life is right now. I'm not working out a whole lot right now. You mentioned that you haven't been able to get a whole lot of working out in, so hopefully we can establish kind of a baseline of where we're at, and go from there. I don't know. See what data it shares between us so we can kind of track. But yeah, we'll come up with something. We'll make a fun February fitness and sober challenge, and I think I don't know. If I have to, I'll make a trip down. We'll do one of these live at your place, and then see if you guys can't make it up at the end of the month and do one live at my place, or vice versa. But yeah,
I'm trying to find a fucking random Friday night I can just fucking drive up there.
Yeah, we got to do like a March 1st after the whole thing's over, get really fucked up.
Oh God.
Go home.
Yeah, we'll hammer this out. We'll figure something out.
We got to go the whole month of sobriety and then get really fucked up on March 1st and podcast it. It'd be great. All right. Yeah. It'd be like the Joe Rogan Sober October, but yeah, it'll be.
Good God.
It'll be with unintelligent people, but
yeah,
it'd be great. All right. I don't have anything else. You got anything?
No, fuck it. Kill it.
All right. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. I always love you. Bye.
Bye.